Hello. My name is Lil Bean, and we have the most wholesomest and bestest chat on all of Twitch. I dare you to try to find one better, but also don't, because then you wouldn't be here. And this is the place you need to be.
Meet Lil Bean, a small streamer with a big heart. An individual that dedicates his time to spreading positivity and admiration to those in need.
Helping make people's nights better, hopefully, spread a smile and that kind of stuff. So if you're about that life, then stick around, because we got a lot more to go.
Someone who is also working to create a safe space for anyone and everyone.
If you're looking for a wonderful and welcoming place to make some friends and to meet some community and to get plugged in, do some activities and things like that, you're in the right place. Whoa, action lines, baby. Wow.
He is also the sweetest little guy you'll ever meet in your life.
His name is Javier Francisco Tartar Sauce. He's probably a pretty good bean. Look at this. Look at the high five. Boop. Nice. You rock.
If you're feeling down, depressed, or just having a rough day, this is the community for you.
We gotta make sure we're taking care of each other. We gotta make sure everybody feels supported. You know what I mean?
How exactly does he achieve this, you may be wondering? Let's go over some examples. He spends nearly every morning writing inspiring, heartfelt messages just to make your day start off a little bit better. He also tries to take the time out of his day to reply to nearly every one of his Discord's messages. He doesn't want you to subscribe to his channel. Instead, he wants you to rely on the kindness of others in his community to grant you a gifted sub.
Since this is a community full of positivity, encouragement, and supporting each other, we only do gift subs. We try to only do gift subs here. So that way we can say, hey, you know what? We have a really supportive network. And people say, oh yeah, how so? And we're like, well, we have everybody is subscribed, and it's all because people cared enough to gift somebody else and pay it forward.
He also uses some of the money he earns on Twitch to go towards what is known as the Stardust Initiative, which is a program he created to help raise money for members in his community that need financial help.
Our Stardust Initiative is my attempt to do like a sort of fundraising signal boost kind of thing for beans in the community. So I choose, it's kind of like a charity, but very small scale, right? It's very small scale because we don't have a big channel. But then also, gift subs help out because at all the cheers and the donations and the subscriptions, the gift subs, they help me because Twitch increases my payout. And whenever I get my payout, I give half of whatever my payout is to whoever the Stardust Initiative is. That way they get some and I get some, and whoever donated gets to help everybody out. So it's a win-win-win-win-win, and that's really good stuff.
He also hosts VR Chat Karaoke Nights, where anyone is welcome with no judgment based on your vocal ability. He's also reached out to me multiple times personally to invite me to his own events. He is also an absolute delight to be around. It doesn't take long to be around him before he's able to put a smile on your face.
I hope that you feel so heckin' much better and you feel so much more relaxed.
No exaggeration, this is the most wholesome person you'll ever meet in your life, and I could spend all day here talking about him. So I think it would be easier if you met him yourself. I have never come across someone of this caliber. I had to know more about this guy. So let me introduce you to Lil Bean. Alright, Bean, you ready to get started?
Sure, let's go. I'm ready.
My god.
Well, first off, hi and hello. My name is Lil Bean and I am a hacking Stardust Wonder Pup. I like VR chat and hanging out and spreading positivity. And on my stream, we make use of 4 separate characters. We have Solms, the Dracaconary, that's Dragon, Unicorn, Kangaroo Tribrid. And I'm here for more of the same positivity encouragement, but also I tend to be more of the competitive aspect. I tend to bring out a whole lot more of the direct and a little bit more straightforward than Bean does. Lil Bean tends to be much more fun and energetic, and I tend to be a little bit more grounded. Next up, we have Rue. Hello. My name is Rue. I'm a mouse, your Sultan of Swiss, Kingpin of Gouda. And I'm here to provide a little bit of ASMR, a little bit of rest and relaxation, and hopefully a little bit more peace and quiet in your evening. I tend to bring a little bit more of the cheesy, smooth 90s vibes, a little bit more of the late night host, or a little bit more of the downtime experience. Let's see, last but not least, I'll introduce you to the storyteller of our group, and that would be Miko.
My name is Miko, and it is a pleasure to meet you. I tend to be the storyteller. I like to fly around to various aspects of the worlds and experience all kinds of things, get people's stories, hear their histories, their cultures, their experiences, and then ideally bring that back to people all over the world, sharing culture and memories and food and experiences and getting to know people. That's what makes me tick. I love to tell a good story.
And there we go. It's me again.
So what do you enjoy doing?
Oh, I have so many hobbies. Okay, ready? Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's see. I love to be a voice actor. I think voice acting is the coolest thing ever. I like to draw. I would love to learn how to dance, but I don't have that. That's not in my wheelhouse. So that's out. Let's see, what else do I like to do? Oh, I like playing Magic the Gathering a lot. Play Dungeons and Dragons. It's so much fun. You get to do multiplayer stuff. So you get to sit around the table with a group of your friends, hang out, and enjoy their presence. So you get to make a lot of jokes. It's a great time. I like to collect fantasy pocket knives and stuff. When we'd go on trips, we would find different vendors and stuff. Like, you could find the most out-of-the-way places, and they'd just be like, yeah, we have, like, a little cabinet full of 4 different knives. We've had them for 7 years, and nobody's buying them. Like, oh, well, that's because it's priced at $60, and it's the most ridiculous-looking knife I've ever seen. I'll take one.
My god, it's just have Steve Rowan, Mr. Rogers, and Bob Ross had love child. So what do you do for work?
I work at a bank. It's not my favorite thing, but it pays the bills, you know. It's largely doing paperwork stuff.
So Bean, how did you become a furry?
I've been a furry for as long as I can remember. Growing up, I grew up with a whole lot of 90s Disney, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, PBS Kids, Channel 13. So a lot of the shows that I grew up watching were things like Yogi Bear and Scooby-Doo, Hong Kong Phooey, which is a lot of fun, Wishbone, which was great, Dragon Tales. You had a lot of Disney influences like the early Robin Hood. The list goes on. All of these quote-unquote classics that I grew up with all had talking animals. Like talking dogs was like, that's the greatest thing ever. Yes, please want more of that. So yeah, growing up with a lot of influences like that. Moving forward, I wanted to see a whole lot of other art and things like that. So finding aminal-based people was like the greatest thing ever. It just seemed like a natural fit. So I was interested, at the very least, in the furry fandom for a long time before I ever had an actual word for it. Then, of all things, I only technically found the furry fandom sometime after the horrid CSI episode. Probably still now infamous.
I'm sorry, the what?
Took a little bit of a negative light to the furry fandom. Up until that point, I had spent a decent amount of time on the internet, the little bit of time that I actually had because we had dial-up. But I remember sitting there on the couch and feeling like, oh, this right here, what they're describing, all these people talking about like internet communities and stuff of people who really like anthropomorphic art. Finding out that there is an actual word for a community of people that actually liked that made it so much easier. It opened the whole door to like, oh, I can find my people, so to speak. So yeah, finding out there was a name for it, I was like, oh, this is the bestest.
So what are your thoughts on haters?
Some people don't get it. That's fine. We all have different paths that we walk, right? We all have our different journeys. We all have our different experiences. That's part of what makes us unique. It's part of what makes us different. It's part of that shades their understanding of how they interact with the world, their purpose, perhaps. And that leads to them, as an output, putting out things that I can't output. I can't match that because I don't have those experiences and I don't have maybe those particular set of beliefs and stuff. I mean, one of my first introductions to the furry fandom was the CSI episode. Talk about a stigma. I simultaneously felt found and also condemned at the same time. I lived with that sort of shadow over my head for a long time. And I think ultimately what I realized about the whole furry fandom thing is it's how you use it. And I don't get a lot of the things that some of my friends are into. Or I've had friends that were interested in different things that like I looked at and I went, you know, I'm gonna put some distance between the two of us for that. Like, and like I don't get some of those things, but it doesn't make them necessarily a bad bean or anything. By no means. It just means I don't understand. It's not for me. I'm not their target audience in that moment. I know I see a lot of people online, especially on social media, that like, I don't want to say like, most people, if you ask them, do you like drama, they'll immediately say no. And I think that's probably to an extent true, but I also believe that many people are just straight up addicted to it. With that said, a lot of people also don't understand how to recognize drama, perhaps. So they get caught up in it constantly. You don't usually change people's minds by yelling at people, putting them down, or making them feel worse about themselves. You give them a reason to consider your perspective. Making friends with people is the fastest way to change somebody's mind. To all the furry haters and stuff out there, like, I get it. That's fine. You don't have to have my experience. You don't have to like my experience. And I can say the same on the opposite side, right? I don't know. This has always just kind of made sense to me. So on the flip side, I was insider looking out. I don't really understand a world where I wouldn't consider myself a furry, because to me, I love animals. I love character design with animal people, and talking animals are the coolest thing ever. I don't know. It's just fun. It's kind of silly. It's lighthearted, but also they're really cute animals involved. Like, I would understand what there is not to like. So like, if I was on the other side, I can't imagine that world. So I have to assume that that's how they feel about it. From the opposite side, they can't see the world where they go, that makes sense to me. All right, I can't fault them for it. It just doesn't make sense to them. That's fine. But if we manage to become friends and stuff, and we talk, at the core of everybody's experiences are often the exact same types of things. Not necessarily the same experiences, but we've all felt loneliness. We've all felt how awful it is to be betrayed by a close friend or someone we thought we could trust. Crippling hopelessness whenever you do something you thought was right and you get punished in such a terrible way, or everything goes wrong afterwards, and you just kind of sit down and you're just kind of lost and adrift, and you don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know where to go. You don't really know your options. You don't feel like you have any options. You just feel like the world's caving in on you, and your job at that point is just to die along with it. I think most of us can relate to those kind of experiences. Most of us know the anger of being talked about behind our back and stuff like that. Even if they never understand what it is to be a furry, they can still understand that not all furries are bad, perhaps. You know? Getting to know each other is the solution to a lot of that. I guess that's what I would say, is just give me a chance. If you're feeling hurt, if you're feeling broken, come to the stream and let's just talk. Honestly, let's honestly talk. And I'll do my best to make you smile and make you feel better about yourself as best I can. I want you to feel accepted and warm and home. But also, if you show up and you're just there to put everybody down, I mean, I want to provide a good space for everybody to feel accepted. So you no longer fit, and you're actively hurting everybody else's an opportunity to enjoy their nights. Please don't be that person. That's bad, right? But other than that, if you don't want to, if you show up and you don't want to be a bad bean, I would love to have you, even if we're different. I can make friends with people who aren't furries. That's fine. I'm down. We can talk about your favorite ice cream, and that's great.
You also design your own clothes, correct?
Yes. I do all the texture work and stuff for my clothes, and for this avatar itself. I tend to pull a lot of inspiration from a lot of those early things, and so I tend to stick with things that I like and things that gave me comfort, and things I have found tend to make other people feel happy.
Would you like to show off some of your favorites?
I would love to. Okay. Okay, so all of my clothes and stuff, I tend to do full, like, 360 designs because it's a canvas. It'd be a waste of space if I didn't. So I have my Lion King shirt, and I have my Land Before Time hat. Boop. And on the back, I think I have Sarah. I can't see it back there right now.
Yep.
And then I made this shirt, which is Simba, because I love Lion King. It's one of my favoriteest movies ever. Let's see, what are some of the others? Here's a whale. This is one of my first ones that I ever did. I use a program called Substance Painter 3D, and that allows me to make use of various like layers and stuff and masks so that I can take various images or arrange things how I like. I can move my designs and stuff around. I can put it together and arrange the ensemble as I please, and then I can add all kinds of effects and stuff to ideally come to something that's fun and unique and has a lot of personality to it. Okay, one more, one more. I know. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go. My toothless hoodie. I love this one. It's got bright primary colors. I love blue and red. It feels very nostalgic, almost just having the red cuffs and everything. I like that a lot. A lot of my aesthetic tends to be what people seem to describe as kidcore. But let's face it, kids get the best second designs on everything. It's just the truth. Look at any of their shirts compared to any of the normal shirts you can buy at a store. And it's like, hey, what's your favorite thing? Cool, we have the best versions of that. And then the adults, it's like, yeah, here's Simba's head. It doesn't even have a border. Here's just Simba's head. I'm just saying, we don't really get the options, though, right? They just stop giving them to us. So I tend to design a lot of my shirts as fun things that I would have liked. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god, this guy's melting my heart. Okay, I gotta know. At what point in your life did you decide to take this positive approach?
I grew up not having a whole lot of friends. Yeah, I didn't do well making friends early on. And I tried to do it like they showed on TV, like they showed in the movies and stuff. Yeah, that didn't work. It didn't work. And that made me really upset. And I had a whole lot of already self-confidence issues. So pairing the two things of loneliness and seemingly the inability to do anything right by my own estimation, because if I was doing it right, clearly I would have had friends. But in my mind, since I didn't have friends, that was all the evidence I needed. Clearly I was doing it wrong and I couldn't seem to do it right. And I used to really dislike myself because I never felt like I had any reason for people to hang out with me. I didn't really feel like I had any skills. I didn't really have any talents. I didn't have any reason for people to want to get to know me. And that led to a whole lot of problematic behaviors, me acting out in various ways, usually with anger and often, honestly, violence. As a kid growing up, that's where I found a lot of my worth. Because for the first time, after getting into my very first fight ever, I remember finding that look in somebody's eye where for the first time I felt like they noticed me. And I remember that addicting feeling of, oh my gosh, this is it. I did it. I found a thing that people will recognize me and can know me for. This is a thing I can invest myself in. And I did for a lot of years. Suffice to say, long story short, that over my time growing up, I spent a lot of time putting other people down, hurting people physically and verbally, generally being a bad, what we would all consider a fairly bad person, right? I was very much a bully. I was bullied whenever I was younger, and as the saying goes, if you're bullied or abused, you become a bullier or an abuser. And I did. I spent a whole lot of time asserting my quote-unquote dominance over other people. I spent a whole lot of time hurting other people and making sure that they understood that when it came right down to it, I was the one in charge. That led to a whole lot of people getting hurt. That led to a whole lot of problems in my normal life, problems making friends and adapting to new circumstances. And I never felt like I belonged anywhere. Go figure, I didn't. There's not really much of a place in a peaceful society for a warrior. Yeah, I hurt a lot of people. I did a lot of very negative things growing up. So flash forward to nowadays, I look back on so much of that and I realize how incredibly alone I felt and how frustrated it was that despite my best efforts to be recognized, to be worth something, it a lot of times didn't feel like I had anybody in my corner. It didn't feel like I had anybody I could go to when I did something small that wasn't violent, that wasn't hurting somebody, putting somebody else down to build myself up. I didn't ever feel like I got any kind of recognition or praise for any of those things. It was just the only things I felt like I got rewarded for were for putting other people down. So flashing forward to now, I can look back at all those things and go, yeah, I don't value those things anymore. Finding quote unquote respect from hurting other people like that and stuff. What I want to do now is make up for lost time because I found much better ways to just make friends, to put myself out there in a positive way. And I've spent a lot of time introspecting and I learned what kind of things that I'm good at. And one of those things is, ironically enough, actually talking to people. I love to talk to people. I love to invest in people because over time, one of the things that helped me change away from those paths was when people talked to me, when people gave me a chance. So I wanted to create a stream where I could invest myself in that, where I could give other people a safe place to just show up, where it doesn't matter what you're feeling right now. If they're where I was at, where they feel worthless and they feel like the only thing they're good at is the kind of things that generally make society, quote unquote, worse. I wanted to give people an alternative. I wanted to show people that it's okay to be hurting and that it's okay to be there and that we don't have to do it like that anymore because we can be together now. You don't have to go it alone. So I wanted, more than anything, to create a space of positivity and encouragement and to build up a sort of support network where it's okay to bring your problems and your hurt, offering a space where people from all walks of life can come to feel accepted, have a little bit of a pick-me-up, a boost to their day, and you can be reaffirmed in just that you've done good getting here. You can have somebody in your corner. That's what I want my stream to be, is wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, you can have somebody in your corner, and it doesn't have to continue the same way that you've been continuing. You know, maybe you can come here and I'll help you smile a little bit because it feels really good to smile. And some people have such a hard life, they don't know how. I want to give them a place where they can consistently come back to help them through their low times and their dark spots, and we'll get through it together because you don't have to go alone anymore. Ideally, where I show good behaviors, where I show what it means to be supportive of other people, where I show that there are other ways to interact with people that make a difference and that help you make friends. That's not the way that I went about it growing up.
This guy is absolutely incredible. I have never met someone this compassionate in my life. This guy can honestly not impress me any more than he already... Oh my god, he can sing!
Come stop your crying, it will be alright. Just take my hand, hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. This community it's about giving people who need support, about giving people who need somebody to believe in them, giving people who need a friend, you know, people who are lonely or people who feel unseen or unheard. It's about giving those people a place to belong. Of course with everybody else too, but we definitely want people to feel like they belong and have ways to get plugged in and reach other people, because lots of time people just don't know how to meet people and make friends. And that's what this is about, right? We're growing as a community. That includes meeting friends. So we're all trying to work together to make the world a better place. All of us from different walks of life, from different experiences, different places of the world. But we all come together at the end of the day because we're all just trying to do the best we can with what we've got. And it really stinky when you have to do it by yourself. No. We want to do it together because we're stronger together. But at the end of the day, we're all still people and we all still hurt. We all still feel the same, right? We just try to do the best we can and make it as good as possible for ourselves and for others. We gotta take care of ourselves. All that stress and stuff you've been holding on to, you're feeling it, you're holding it in your body and everything, you don't need that anymore. Intentionally, deliberately, give yourself permission to just let it go. You don't need that, it's hurting. You know, because life comes at you fast and it can be a whole lot. But that doesn't mean we have to go it alone. That's part of the benefit of having a community. A chain of 3 or more is not as easily broken as a chain of just 1. And it's very easy for us to get beat down on our own, you know. So don't be afraid to reach out to somebody who's having a bad day. Ask them what's going on. That's the kind of stuff that we're all about here. It's been a hacking wonderful night. We've had some really stressful stuff happen, but we've also had the opportunity for lots of you wonderful beings to show great support to the people out there who are hurting, who are feeling lonely, feeling confused, feeling stressed out and stuff. And I think y'all did wonderful. So great job today. I'm proud of all of you, and I'm really glad that y'all are here. To all of you out there, good luck, have fun, be safe, don't die. Watch out for rhinos, and don't drown. Before I forget, everybody, one more thing, and most important thing. Always remember to be worth remembering. Y'all have a stupendous, fabulous, tabula marvelous evening, and I will see you next time. Night, everybody. I love you all so much. Go forth and stardust, my children. I release you all from your bonds.
how in the hell am I supposed to follow up this guy? Well, one thing's for certain. We're only scratching the furry surface. So be sure to join us next time when we take a closer look behind the fur.
Beans, 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 bean, 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 bean. Bean, 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 beans, 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 beans.